Alright, so yet another day of Cowboys training camp is in the books, and there's a lot to talk about. This team has been putting in some serious work, and you can really start to feel the physicality picking up, whether it's in red zone drills, 11 on 11, or situational periods. The intensity has definitely been there. We saw some solid throws from Dak Prescott and also Joe Milton today, but both QBs did throw an interception. But I got to give credit to Kyer Lam and the guys who made those plays, because defensively, when you can get interceptions when the offense literally knows what you're doing, it makes it even more impressive. So yeah, in this video, I want to break down everything that you need to know about today's practice. But before I do begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, and your support truly means the world. Alright, so the first thing I want to get into is the RPO implementation, because over the last few weeks, the Cowboys have been working more and more of that into their offensive system, and it showed again today. They're letting Dak Prescott operate in that space, and Joe Milton's getting looks with it too. On one of the outside reps, we saw a classic nickel blitz coming from the outside. The second that the DB creeped down and committed, Dak pulled the ball and got it out immediately. These are some of the most dangerous throws in football, tight timing windows. There's potential for tip drills and picks, but Dak put it in a perfect spot. Jalen Tolbert high points the ball and brings it down cleanly. May have been a touchdown depending on the contact, but no pads on means we don't know for sure. Either way though, it was great execution of the concept, fast decision, accurate throw, and a great grab by Tolbert. The next play comes from Dak again, and this one's all about trust. He drops back, sees the one-on-one coverage, and doesn't hesitate. He's targeting Jonathan Mingo, and the ball placement is right on. Mingo brings it in through contact, makes a move, and gets some extra yards. There was also some defensive holding on this play too, which would have added yardage, but either way, what matters here is that Dak is developing confidence in Mingo. He's becoming a consistent option, and you don't make that throw unless you trust your guy to go get it, and clearly, Mingo's earning that trust. Now fast forward to another rep. Dak dropped back again. This time he was facing a little bit more pressure. The offensive line holds up well though, and what stands out is the blitz pickup by running back Deuce Vaughn, because he's a little guy, so him putting in that effort is exactly what you want to see. And then Jack Sanborn was coming downhill fast, but Vaughn squares him up and gives Dak the time he needs. With the pocket clean, Dak hits CeeDee Lamb on a beautiful back shoulder ball down the sideline. It was great timing, a great adjustment by Lamb, and another chunk play added to the day. That's what you want to see in training camp: execution under pressure, and seeing Vaughn, who's not the biggest guy, stand in and take on a blitzer like that. It says a lot. Then after that, Joe Milton checked in, and while we didn't get the best angle on this throw, it's clear what happened. Milton thinks he has a one-on-one shot downfield. He tries to get it to Ryan Flournoy, but the safety and Thomas reads it the whole way. He gets over the top, high points it, and picks it off. Great play by the defense. You can tell that Milton felt the pressure. Might have been a little early on the release, and he forced the ball into tight coverage, and that's a mistake you can't make in live action. Coaches will tell you, sometimes it's better to just eat the sack or throw it away. Live to fight another day, play another down, but here Milton forces it, and Thomas makes him pay. Tough rep overall. Now, one of the things that's really stood out in this camp is how physical this defense has been even without full contact. There's a noticeable effort being made to attack the football. On one rep to the tight end, you could see 3 different defenders going straight for the ball. One punch here, another swipe there. They're all going for the strip. It's clear this coaching staff is drilling the peanut punch hard. No one's trying to wrap and tackle. Everyone's trying to force a fumble. And that kind of aggressive ball mentality is exactly how you win turnover battles. Obviously, on certain plays, you can get beat pretty bad, but it's definitely becoming a part of this defense's identity, and you love to see it. Now let's talk about the play of the day according to my notes. In this one, Joe Milton dropped back and he was looking deep, and Jaydon Blue, who's been labeled everything from lazy to not consistent enough, goes out and makes one of the nastiest one-handed catches of camp. The ball's behind him. He has to twist back, track it, stop his momentum, and then lay out for a full extension snag. One hand, clean catch, body control, awareness, concentration, everything. It was on full display. And that's the kind of catch that changes people's minds. The Cowboys are already high on Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, but Jaydon Blue is starting to demand attention. That was a grown man catch. No other way to say it. Also, one little fun side note from camp today. I had to laugh at this one. Apparently there was an Eagles fan walking around practice in a punishment shirt that said "I suck at fantasy football" on the back every time he did a lap around the field, and the crowd booed him like crazy, and it kind of became part of the entertainment from the day. Good little training camp humor, but anyways, let's get back to the field. Now I want to spotlight some offensive line work, specifically with Tyler Booker. He's been running with the second team so far, which makes sense given that he's still young and he's learning the system, but he had one rep today that was absolutely textbook. The defense ran a stunt with Sam Williams and Dorrance Armstrong. Williams crashed inside while Armstrong looped around to the interior, and it's tough to pick up when a guy comes inside with that much speed, but Booker did a fantastic job on this play, recognizing the switch, passing off Williams and sliding across to pick up Armstrong, and that's already veteran level awareness awareness even in year one, and this is the kind of thing that earns you trust from your quarterback and your coaches. Not many guys, at least in the early days of camp, have been able to keep up with Armstrong's inside counters, but Booker handled it in 1 rep today. Back to the quarterbacks, as I mentioned in the intro, it was kind of a mixed bag across the board. Joe Milton had the interception, but also had some reps where he looked poised and on time, sharp, consistent, in rhythm, and he was making good reads. And it's clear that Dak is in full command of the offense right now. He's comfortable in the system, he's trusting his receivers, and he's pushing the ball when he sees the right matchups, even though, again, I know it's still kind of not the most physical, and it's going to be a different story when the D-line is blitzing like crazy, but for now, he has been top-notch. One final note and thing I want to talk about before I wrap up this video is that the energy and tempo of these practices just feel different this year. There's a different level of urgency from both the starters and the depth guys, and I know everyone says this is the year with Dallas and it's kind of become a joke, but seriously, after all the moves they made this offseason, Jerry Jones finally doing some stuff and bringing some guys in, there does feel like a renewed sense of energy and just a new hope with this team. After the day was over, we finally got to hear from a bunch of different players about how they're feeling and everything they've experienced so far in this camp, and Jerry Jones also did a little press conference where the fans started chanting, "Pay Micah Parsons." I don't think it's going to pick up in the YouTube video that the official Dallas Cowboys page posted, but if it does, then that's cool. I guess you guys can kind of get the full experience. But anyways, here were some of the best moments from those interviews.
Definitely, I preferred it. That was something me and my team put together. Man, they was able to get it done. I really didn't have to do much or say much, so just shout out to my agent. So that's pretty much it.
What have you taken early on from Shotty and Steve Shimko and the points that they've made to you, whether you're watching film back or just on the field from some of the reps you've had?
Man, shout out to them too, man. They put in a lot of time with me, and also obviously the offense. But from those two, man, you know, they give great insights, great point of views. But as far as like what I've learned, I learned a lot since I've been here.
Y'all, you hang with us. You hang with us. Your spirit, you hang with us the whole show, the whole way. You really do. It's not hard when you take the kind of support and enthusiasm that you have, and you couple it with these great facilities and being able to come out here. This is our 19th year to have our training camp here at Oxnard.
So yeah, good stuff from the guys, and basically to wrap everything up that happened today, Jalen Tolbert just continues to make plays, Jonathan Mingo is slowly earning trust, CeeDee Lamb is still that guy, Joe Milton had his ups and downs, Thomas made a huge play on the defensive end, and then Jaydon Blue just reminded everyone why talent always wins if you put it all together. Training camp is only heating up from here, things are going to get even more physical as we get closer and closer to the start of the preseason that's going to be here before we know it. That's really all I got for this one though. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. And if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.